Hello, I'm Michael
And I'm Jill.
for Michael and Jill's Travel Adventures. Click below to subscribe to our channel.
Okay, I want to emphasize one thing. Most of our videos are not for frequent cruisers, they're for new cruisers that don't understand the process. And we do this not for monetary gain. We don't get anything off of it. We still have to work our normal jobs and do our normal things. We do this because of how confused we were when we first did it. And we try not to be the snooty platinum people. We try just to be the ones that give you the information so you know what to do. So, one of the things, we just came back from a 4-day cruise on the Breeze out of Galveston, and there was a lot of confusion about check-in time versus boarding. So we're going to just start at the beginning. I'm going to tell you what a day, or we're going to tell you what a day is when we can start cruising of the first day. But anyway, one of the things I want to start it is, so 2 weeks before your cruise, if you're platinum diamond, it's
16 days.
16 days, sorry. But what we do is we wait till 11 o'clock our time, because it's midnight in Florida, and Florida is where Carnival's based out of. So that's our tradition. Some people think it's stupid, but it's okay. We all have our own traditions. We get our early check-in time. It really doesn't matter since we're platinum, because platinum, diamond, suites, and Fashion to Fun and the wedding party they don't have to adhere to that time. If you are blue, red, gold, and you don't get Fashion to Fun, then you have to stick to your or your appointment time. I got it confused. Sorry. Your appointment time. If you go too early, the nice people at the port in Galveston will tell you to either come back and wait, or you're going to have to sit down and wait for your time. So that's the first part of it. And when you do that, you're picking how you want your bed. If you want a single bed, or if you want to push them together and make the king bed, you're picking your dining time. You're putting your card on file if you're going to use a credit card for your purchases on the ship. What other information am I missing?
And whether or not you have birth certificate or passport.
And also your emergency contact, all that information you're going to do when you check in 2 weeks. Okay. It's going to give you the time to check a time. Now, it is up to you, your preference, what time you want to come. Just let you know, after a certain time, though, the porters stop taking your luggage. You will have to carry everything on yourself. And that's why we like to go early. Our thing is, we want to start our vacation as early as we can. We like to get in the port, sit down, and meet people that we're going on the cruise with. You don't have to do that. There's some people say that if you come at 12:30, you can walk your little hiney right on that cruise ship. So,
again, let me just make sure that we're saying or verifying that everybody understands us. You are picking a time in that 14 days before the cruise. You're picking a time to show up at the port, not actual boarding time.
Boarding usually happens between 11 o'clock, is the earliest we've gotten on a ship, till 12:30 for us to get on the ship. It depends on what's happened on the cruise before you. Sometimes there's people that died on the cruise, so they've got to get the body off, and you've got to do that. Sometimes they've had other issues with the ship, so you don't get to go on till everything's cleared.
So once you have that time, and again, we've said this in other videos and everything, once you have the time established, that's the time you can show up at the port, get in line, and that's when they're going to let you in the door. You don't want to be 4,200 people showing up at the port all at the same time. That's the reason they have the staggered times.
Also, when you check in, you can finally print your boarding passes. These are important because they let you get on the ship, and they also take place if you're selling sign card until your room is ready at 1:30. So this is how you charge your drinks that day, or anything that costs money on the ship. This is what you're going to use. So a day in the life of a cruise embarkment day.
So we
have it down. It took us several cruises, but we finally got it down. And I am going to be honest, I observed people what they were doing, and that's when I figured out the secret to it.
What we normally do is we always drive to the port, because we live close enough to do that. We drop our luggage off, the luggage that we're going to check. We drop that off
at 8:30.
about 8:30.
8:30 is a good time because they've gotten the first group of early people that are getting off the ship, and usually they're waiting on you. There's not a lot of traffic, but you better not take too much of my advice, and you mess me up for traffic. But anyway, we drop it off with the
Check baggage with the porters.
I forgot, and we do tip the porters. Everybody has a different way of doing it. We usually just give them $5. So what happens? We do that. They check and make sure your luggage tags are on and all that. We've never had an issue with the porters at Galveston. They're really sweet. So then we go to the parking area. Everybody's going to park different, but I will say if you're using the port parking, they open at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
Well, that is for Galveston.
Yeah.
There are
different. I know there's variations on each cruise, but out of Galveston, the port parking opens at 9. They will put you in a line if you get there early. No biggie. We did that almost every cruise. So after that, we have our carry-ons with us and we have our backpacks. So they're gonna tell you where to park. You're gonna go to one of the shelters they have, and you're gonna wait till one of them comes and picks you up. It may take a little bit of time because they're also trying to get these people off the ship so they can get their cars out of the way so we can park. So that's what we get on the bus, the shuttle, and ride to the port that way. I do tip our shuttle driver too. I love tipping people. He doesn't. Anyway, so now we're at the port. So if we weren't platinum, I don't know if you can see the blue right here. It says 10:30 to 11. That's what time we would arrive at the port to check in, not to get on the ship and run and get a guy's burger. Check-in time says right here in the blue. Okay? Now,
yes, that is check-in time, arrival time. That is the time that you are allowed to go through the doors into the port. Now, there are going to be some people that are going to say, yes, but we can get there earlier. They'll let you in. They'll let you in before that time. Sometimes they do. Sometimes we've had some that wait until the exact minute and then they let you in. Or they will hold you if you are 10:30 to 11. They will hold you
now,
there until 10:30.
If you're past your check-in time at the port, that's okay. That doesn't really count. They're going to let you in. On a side note, I was going to say something you made me forget.
You forgot.
I'll have to try to remember it. Oh, on a side note, good Lord, I forgot. Sorry. If I think of it, I'll tell y'all. So anyway, what you're going to do then is they're going to shuffle you through a line. And one thing about Galveston, I don't know about the other places, you're going to have to keep this out and show them. You're constantly doing like this so they can see. They want to see your appointment time, or they're looking for that priority right there in red. That's what they're looking for. So they take you through a line, and then in that line, that's when you're going to show your documents and everything. And
you're going to have your either your birth certificate or passport, and if you do ID and birth certificate, you're going to have your state issued ID in your hand with your birth certificate and your boarding pass. They want it all in your hand when you walk through that door.
Also, if you are a woman that has been married and your name is not the same as your birth certificate, you will have to show the marriage license to show why your name changed. My side note, I remembered it. People are going to tell you, oh, it's not a big deal. Just don't, you can do whatever you want to. We're never going to tell you that. We may be the police of Carnival. We've been called that before. But we're going to give you the actual information. What you choose to do is your choice. But I'm telling you, we've seen where people have told people they could like sneak alcohol in. I don't know if y'all saw the social media thing where the woman got a tampon box and she had taken the tampons out and put the little miniature alcohol in it. She put it on TikTok and even tagged Carnival in it. Don't understand that. And she is banned now for life from ever being on Carnival ships. So we're trying to help the newbies understand, do this, because you don't know. You may get an overzealous agent that is going to check you completely out. So you need to go by the rules. I would hate for anyone to miss a ship because you listened to somebody that said just break the rules. So anyway, once you do this, the lady or the man's gonna stamp you right there saying you're cleared. She also underlines when your rooms are ready, and then she also makes sure you know your muster station, which is circled over here. So anyway, so now you're going to go through security, correct?
Yes.
So anything you carry on has to go through the
X-ray scanner. This is on the Carnival website. It's on the back of your luggage tags.
I'm sorry if this video is going to be long, but there's a lot of information we're trying to cover. And I know I'm bad about not watching big, long videos. So
the luggage tags say specifically on here about the weight and the guidelines.
We're not going to get on that rant. Wait, time out. No, time out.
Carnival says that as long as the baggage, when it's laying flat, is X by X, then it goes through the chute, you're good to go. If you get there and you put it through there and it's not going to fit, it's going to cause extra time because they're going to have to manually search that bag. So they have to take it off the table, put it over to the side, manually search it. It just causes disruptions. Just most standard luggage laying flat on its back will fit unless you have something that's 12 feet tall. It's usually going to fit through there.
So after you do that, you're going to walk through a metal detector, and then you're going to retrieve your things that have gone through the x-ray machine. And then they're going to tell you, because they can see it on the x-ray, your bottles of wine and your carry-on. And if you have Cokes with you also, they're going to tell you to go to the next station where they're going to check you. I'm not going to get an argument about what you can and can't do, what you can sneak on. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to tell you, at Galveston, I know for sure, they're going to take your wine and do it upside down to see how it bubbles up, because they can tell if that's regular wine or not. They're going to take your drinks, the 12-pack, they're going to open it up, and they're going to pull them all out to make sure you're not sneaking anything on, put them back in, and tape them together. And you're lucky they tape them together. First time they did it to me, they didn't tape it back. I believe this is the same thing in Louisiana, because that's where in New Orleans, the lady showed us what she's looking for when the wine. What you do, again, it's up to you. I'm not risking getting banned for life because I love cruising too much. So after that, you're going to go through this maze to get to your waiting area. If you are a new cruiser that did not set up that account, you're going to go to customer service and set that cash account up, or get the card on file, whatever. So that will happen. If not, you're going to go and get to sit where you want to. This is our daughter in line for one of the things. She's not platinum, and I made her go through the regular old people's line. That's why she was looking at us like that. But anyway, you're gonna. I know in Galveston they have a little lounge area for diamond, platinum, and faster to the fun, sweet guests, and then the wedding parties are always going to go before you. They always go on first. You're going to sit there, and then they're going to start making announcements. You're probably going to have 6 announcements telling you not to go to your rooms, that go to Lido to eat, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to tell you, okay, it's time to line up. Now, if you're in the platinum area, it's going to be, like I said, diamond, platinum, suites, and waiting guests have already gone and done their thing. And you're going to go through.
And faster to the fun.
And faster to fun, but faster to fun is going to be after all that. And we're all going to line up. The other people that are blue, red, and gold that aren't faster to the fun are sitting on another side in Galveston. And they will go by the boarding group. That's your group. B1 was on this one, but that if we weren't platinum, that was what we would go with, B1. You're going to go, they're going to scan your face, and then you get to go to the ship. That's about all I had on this one. I just wanted to explain because there's so much confusion. People think when they get this 10:30 time, that's what time I get on the ship. No, that's what time you arrive at the port and to check in for your cruise.
One thing I will say, if you want to skip the step where you're sitting down, if you either arrive later than 11:30, 12-ish, like she said before, that's the general boarding times, somewhere around 11 o'clock to 12. If you arrive after that, say 1:30, then you can just pretty much get into the building, go through the process, walk right on the ship instead of having to sit down and wait. That also, if you are arriving later, say 1:30 time frame, you also, if you're carrying drinks and you do not have faster to the fun, that's less time that you have to keep up with your luggage that you're carrying
Well,
on.
no,
And
if
or
you'll have to carry all your luggage, and that
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I understand some people are that way, but you got to think all of us that are getting on the ship are pretty much congregating to Lido deck because there's nowhere really to go, and people have their luggage. It's a tripping hazard. I know you want to do what you want to do, but that's fine. Um, Also, if you are on the other side and you're not one of these priority people and you're doing the boarding group, they are going to line up wheelchairs, people on wheelchairs or need help walking. They're going to line them up first before anyone else. And also, they're going to get on to you if you stand up when people start. I know you're excited, but they're going to tell you to sit down if you get up before your time to get on the ship. Take your time. We're all going to get on there. We're all going to eat. We're all going to be happy. That's all it is. We're going to have a fun time. And our last cruise, the lady said this, and I want to end it with this. She said, when you go on that cruise, forget what's happened at home. Forget about all your worries and troubles at home. And for how many days your cruise is, just have a good time, relax. Don't infringe on somebody else's good time, but do what you want to do. Have fun as long as it's safe.
that's the boarding process from
I know this is a long video. I'm sorry, but it's a
on-
lot.
online check-in to when you actually get to walk on the ship. So for that, I'm Michael.
And I'm Jill.
For Michael and Jill's Travel Adventures. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.